I've just gotten word that the local Walgreens in Mount Horeb has had an attempted burglary. On December 23rd at approximately 8:27 p.m., 3 men walked into the local Walgreens store together and were buying alcoholic beverages for over an hour. They came to the checkout and asked for 3 packs of cigarettes each. After the cashier put the packs on the counter, 2 of the men grabbed 7 of the 9 packs and ran out the store. The police were called in less than 5 minutes. The burglars ran on foot and were caught on Sheila Street in Mount Horeb in less than 20 minutes. The cigarettes were found and returned, and all is well at Walgreens once more.
Next up in Mount Horeb, 17-year-old Bobby Michaels, star quarterback and valedictorian, was reported missing when he did not arrive home after leaving the birthday bash of best friend and running back Terry Walker. Bobby was last reported driving home in a silver Volkswagen Passat at approximately 9 o'clock p.m., according to witnesses who attended the party. After Bobby did not return home that night nor arrive home back in the morning, his parents began to contact anyone who might have information on his whereabouts. According to Bobby's phone records, it shows that he had no contact with anyone about where he might be after sending a text to his mother stating that he was coming home, corresponding to the time witnesses saw him leaving. There was no reported alcohol or drug abuse at the party, and it was well chaperoned by parents. The police are skeptical that it may be a factor in Bobby's disappearance. Neither Bobby nor his vehicle have been located, so be on the lookout for a silver Volkswagen Passat with license plates 627BLE and a boy of Bobby's description. Bobby Michaels, 17, is approximately 6'3", 190 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes. Mr. and Mrs. Michaels are offering rewards to anyone who might be able to provide them with information that can lead them to the location and recovery of their missing boy.
Now for a special report from our very own Jenkins.
Bazala, 6 months after her bicycle accident, when a dog, seemingly out of nowhere, came out in front of her, causing her to flip with her bike and body to skid down the pavement, causing for what the EMT said to be the worst accident he has seen all summer. So how are you doing after your accident?
I'm doing much better. I'm not quite fully recovered yet, but it's been a long 6 months, but I would say 90%. I still have 1 surgery ahead of me and about a 4-month recovery after that.
In what ways has this accident changed you, if it has changed you at all?
It's made me realize that no matter how much you plan or try to be as safe as possible, things still happen, and that you just got to roll with what life gives you and find the positives in a bad situation.
So how did you get through this? Who helped you?
I was able to get through the initial trauma with a great group of friends that really helped me keep track of medications and bandage changes, along with cleaning my house, cooking for me, taking my kids where they need to go, packing for one of them to go to camp. But overall, getting through it with family help, good friends, and a great team of doctors.
Well, thank you so much for coming, and I wish you a nice recovery.
Thank you.
Now to Ashley with sports.
Thanks, Mattéa. And now for the sports. The Mount Horeb High School boys basketball team played Platteville on Tuesday, December 9th, and they played in the main gym. During the game, Drew Frederickson had 3 three-pointers at the end to win the game. Mount Horeb was ahead the whole time. The Platteville team couldn't keep the ball. Mount Horeb had solid defense, and the final score was 64-40, Mount Horeb. Also, the Mount Horeb girls high school gymnastics team had an invite on Tuesday, December 16th against Berryville and Monona Grove in the Ox Jam 2 and 3. At the meet, Mount Horeb was down against Berryville until sophomore Leah Scollett nailed the landing on the beam with a 9 and raised the score, and they kept the lead and won the invite. Now to Nina with even more sports.
Thanks, Ashley. Another winter sport in the works is the high school boys wrestling team. On December 8th, Matt Bloom scored 8 points against Riley Cole from Fenimore, who had 6 points. It was a close call, but Bloom pulled through and pinned Cole with 7 seconds left.
Everybody loves a good dog hero story, and lucky for us, 2 of them have come to Mount Horeb. More on this after the break.
You know what I'm craving?
Tacos?
Pizza?
Something in between?
Taco pizza! Yeah, but we don't have any of that.
That's why I'm here, ladies. I'm your pizza genie. And I brought pizza!
Oh my
and
gosh!
not just any pizza. Taco pizza.
Oh.
Delicioso!
Thanks, Taco Genie!
Your Mama's Taco Pizza, starting at $11.99. Buy now.
Last Friday, a young boy was ice skating on Stewart Lake when he strayed into a weak spot of ice out of sight and around the corner to where his family was. Unbeknownst to them, who were still putting on their skates on the snow-covered beach, the young boy, Peter Sherman, aged 8, slipped and fell through the ice, becoming trapped beneath it. His family could not see nor hear him, so they had no idea what was happening to their poor son. Luckily for him, his husky Loki had followed him to where he had been skating. The dog, having seen what happened to Peter, began to bark and run around to get the Sherman family's attention. He then went back over to where Peter had fallen in and dug around in the ice until he caught onto the young boy's jacket and pulled his arms and head out of the water. By this time, the boy had fallen unconscious, and his family had carefully, yet quickly, skated over to the scene. Henry Sherman, the father, pulled his son out of the water while Mother called 911. The ambulance came with no time to spare and took Peter to the hospital. He's still in the hospital, recovering from severe hypothermia, a broken arm, 3 ribs, and a concussion. His father said to us, "I never was sure about getting a dog, and I only did because my wife and children were begging me. But now I can say without a doubt that I have no doubts about getting Loki, because without him, my boy would not be alive." And now to Kayla, live at the ice skating rink at the corner of Garfield and South 1st Street.
We are at the corner of Garfield and South 1st Street, where the fire department floods the soccer field every year. It's a fun way to spend your time during the cold winter months. People come from all over Mount Horeb to skate here. They could even warm up in the heating house behind me after they're done skating, and even bring s'mores. We're here with Everett, who is the ice rink supervisor. So, what are the hours?
The ice rink is open from 12 to 9 on weekends and 4 to 8 on weekdays.
What year does it, or what month does it usually open?
It really depends on the year. For the rink to be flooded, it requires 10 days of below freezing weather. So this year it was flooded in January. However, for the past 2 years it's been flooded in December due to very cold winters.
Is there any special events that go on here?
The biggest one is Wednesday night hockey night, although occasionally different clubs or programs from around the community will schedule in a night to have a get-together, and a bunch of people will come down.
Is there a lot of people who come here, or does it really depend?
It depends on the day. If it's nice weather, so sunny and a reasonable temperature like it is now, there will be a large crowd of people, upwards of maybe 50 at most.
So thanks for letting us interview you. I'm here with some local skaters today. What are your names? Allie. Jana. What's your favorite thing about skating?
I like when you skate and then you jump into the snow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. How often do you guys come here? Pretty often. So once a week?
Every other day.
Every other day? That's a lot. So you go here frequently. Have you ever roasted s'mores in the... Yeah?
Yesterday I did.
Is that that's really fun too? Thanks for talking. If you're looking for something fun to do in the winter, come to the corner of Garfield and South 1st Street.
Now to Nina.
Boy, do I love sweets. From chocolate to cake to jello to cookies. I just can't say no. I'm sure I share this with a lot of you. But too much can lead to an unhealthy diet. That cake has nothing healthy in it, but it sure tastes great. An average slice of
chocolate cake with frosting has 249 calories in it. Having cake occasionally is fine, but having it all the time is a bad choice. When you're eating vegetables, it's harder to gain weight. A cup of veggies is about 50 calories. That is way better than a cup of Lay's potato chips, which is 137 calories. That's a huge difference. Additionally, veggies give you the healthy vitamins that you need. Some vitamins can be stored, such as vitamin A, D, and E. Vitamin A is in carrots, pumpkin, sweet potatoes, winter squash, broccoli, spinach. You may see a trend going that the dark or veggies with the strong coloring has more vitamin A in them. Vitamin E is in the vegetable oil and leafy greens. So just by eating a salad, you are digesting foods that help your eyesight, prevent disorders, bone growth, and having a healthy immune system. Lastly, veggies contain fiber. Fiber helps reduce blood cholesterol levels and lower the risk of heart disease. It is also helpful to have a proper bowel function. As you can see, vegetables do tons for your body, from keeping your eyesight clear to having low cholesterol rates. Veggies save your life. Done.
More about food. Many people are interested in whether nutrition choices can help prevent cancer. Eating a wide variety of plant food is a good way to start. Fruits, veggies, grains, and beans contain hundreds of health-promoting chemicals that you can't get from a dietary supplement. Here are some of the best cancer-fighting foods to put on your plate. Broccoli, cranberries, dark leafy green vegetables, garlic, grapes, green tea, soy, winter squash, tomatoes, and whole grain. The flu season is at the midway point, and it's shaping up to be a difficult one. Dr. Tom Fraden said the season has been particularly bad for people 65 years and older. The number of deaths is up to 26 since flu season began in the fall. In states where the flu season started earlier, it may be slowing down, but there are still weeks left of the flu. It usually lasts into the spring. With that in mind, doctors suggest to go get a flu shot if you haven't been vaccinated. The flu shot this year is not a perfect match for the virus, but it is the best protection available for people and can lessen the illness.
More on the flu. Mount Horeb schools have been experiencing a major prevalence of illness, which the doctors say is a new and even more dangerous strain of influenza. Over half the students at Mount Horeb Junior High and high schools have been reported ill and unable to attend due to this outbreak. Students are encouraged to avoid sharing foods and drinks for the time being, and to reapply hand sanitizers often if not able to wash hands. These illnesses have been causing symptoms ranging from a stuffy nose, vomiting, coughing, and fevers with a dangerous average of 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So far, the illnesses have not been reported spreading into neighboring towns or school districts, but due to its extreme contagiousness, it is projected to spread to over half the nation in the course of 6 months. Doctors do not yet have a vaccination for this new viral strain, but are working day and night to prevent what could become a global epidemic. Now to Ashley with our second dog story, A Bittersweet Tale.
It happened as the Martin family pulled into a strip mall by Subway. The dad, Andre, went into a store to buy a new dog collar for Noah. Out of nowhere, a road rage incident erupted in the parking lot. Gunfire hit the SUV. A bullet pierced the seat a few inches from where his son was sitting. In the hail of bullets, the dog raced to the front of the seat, and DeAndre, his wife, explained, "His body was pushing me to stay this way. The dog shielded her and took a bullet in the neck. He saved the kids. He saved my life. He was a superhero," said DeAndre.
Now for a more heartwarming story. Life Church of Mount Horeb is reaching out to the heart of the Madison community by serving a hot meal to the homeless every month. Every first Sunday, the youth group at Life Church drives to the Madison Capitol and serves a meal to the homeless in the Capitol basement. The volunteers for this event help serve a hot meal to the homeless and assist in cleanup afterwards. This event is greatly appreciated in the Madison community and is hoped to continue for many years to come.
Now for Nina and Kema with some more sports news.
Soccer players just can't get enough soccer during soccer season. Mount Horeb girls and boys joined to play indoor soccer at Kiva Sports Center in Middleton, coached by John Klein, father of one of the players. This is a great group of friends friends that have been quite successful this year. Last weekend, they beat the Madison team, the 56ers. Morgan Klein won a goal, while Tyler Ann made the other goal. That makes it 2-0, Mount Horeb.
Mount Horeb's Serena Preddy scored 6 of her 13 points in overtime, including the three-pointer to open up the extra session to lead the Vikings to a 46-42 victory over visiting Fort Atkinson and non-conference girls basketball game Tuesday night.
Now for some more news brought to you by Briannah.
Mara's Elegant Bridal, an award-winning boutique located in downtown Mount Horeb, has had an increased amount of growth in business and popularity among the general public, especially from brides-to-be. The bridal boutique has brought in over $5 million in the past 3 months. This surge in business is hoped to continue. With wedding season quickly approaching, brides in Mount Horeb, Madison, and Middleton are anxious to get their dresses and their bridesmaids' dresses in hand before the months of May through September arrive. Mara's Bridal has many gowns that capture the princess theme, which has been all the rave of brides-to-be lately.
Tired of your headphones getting into knots that just seem like they can't get out? Well, do we have a solution for you? Introducing the all-new and completely original water bottle headphone holder. Don't bother putting them in your pocket where they'll get all tangled. Just simply take the headphones and wrap it around the top of the water bottle. Your headphones will never be tangled again.
Buy yours now for $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Headphones not included.
Hi. In honor of Fact Week here at the station, we have Ashley here with a bit of fun facts about Mount Horeb.
The Prairie Brook Shack building on Main Street was originally an opera house.
An opera house? Well, I dabble a bit in opera myself.
It's very impressive.
Thank you.
The North Golf Bowl is one of the oldest 9-hole golf courses in Wisconsin. The original bowling alley was located on Main Street.
On Main Street? Wow, and very impressive. One of the first in Wisconsin. That's a feat.
Did you know, according to the book Haunted Wisconsin, the house that stood at 300 East Main, now the Welcome Center, was haunted by a poltergeist.
A poltergeist? Now, what is a poltergeist?
A poltergeist is a ghost or other supernatural being supposedly responsible for physical disturbances, like loud noises and objects being thrown around.
What? Not our own Welcome Center? Well,
Yeah,
welcome to Mount
welcome.
Horeb. What else you got?
In 1832, the Military Ridge Road was built by the U.S. government for transportation. This same railway was abandoned in 1985 and transformed by the Department of Natural Resources into a 39-mile trail for biking, hiking, snowmobiling, and crossword country skiing. It is now the Military Ridge Bike Trail.
Wow! That's very cool.
Yes.
Awesome. Way to save the environment, everybody.
One last fact. The Mount Horeb High School's math teacher, Mr. Kesnick, designed the only vertical sundial in the whole U.S. It's mounted on the front of the high school, middle school.
What? That's very, very impressive. Did you know he also worked for NASA?
I did not.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, we are very lucky to have him, and especially teaching our kids. Wow. That's very impressive. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Ashley, for your fun facts. Next, we have Kama.
Casey Allen was driving the familiar Interstate 18151 near her Mount Horeb home when the Volvo she was driving slammed into 2 white-tailed deers meandering across the highway at dusk on December 15th. There was impact, then explosion in her chest as the airbags burst open. She had no idea if she was in a ditch, on the side of the road, or a sitting duck in the middle of a highway. As it turned out, although her car was sideways in the middle of 2 lanes of interstate traffic, she was able to run to safety and was relieved and grateful when other drivers stopped by to help. Later, when the tow truck driver arrived to haul away her car, the first thing he said was that he frequently picked up people who had hit wildlife at that exact same spot. This crossing area was a death trap for the people and the animals they had hit. If that was so, Casey wondered, how could no one have done anything? She was horrified that this spot, where she almost died, was a known and dangerous wildlife crossing. Yet, as a society, we appear to be doing nothing, she later said. For those 2 deers, it was too late. But for Casey, there might be some relief to hear that people are in fact beginning to do something about preventing accidents exactly like hers. Stories about how governments, universities, elected officials, nonprofit organizations, and foundations are now coming together to implement a proven and readily available solution, the wildlife crossing.
Now for Briannah with more about the storm that's been blasting through Mount Horeb.
A violent snowstorm has been rolling through Midwest Wisconsin for the past 2 days. The storm began on December 28th at around 2:45 a.m. in northern Wisconsin and progressively moved down to southwest Wisconsin, leaving 4.5 feet of snow in its path. Schools will most likely be closed on Monday and Tuesday. Only a fourth of the roads in Mount Horeb have been cleared, and unfortunately the state has run out of salt, making most of the roads impassable.
Now for Nina with a tragedy made due to this weather.
I'm sure most of you are familiar with FedEx, an American shipping company. Recently, a plane that has been sent off to Moscow, Russia, has crashed about 5:12 yesterday afternoon. This weather has been yet to blame. Thunderstorms made the plane lose connection and land in the Pacific Ocean. Search and rescue boats and helicopters have been sent out looking for survivors from this tragic crash. They reported only one of the 6 men on the plane have been found. It was horrifying, Robert Cassidy said. Before I could react, I was slammed against the plane wall of the plane. And thank God there was enough time to grab a safety raft. That was the only thing that saved my life. I saw 2 other men get a safety raft too. Hopefully they're still around. I saw the pilot pass. My condolences to the pilot's family. He was a great man, said Robert Cassidy, the only found survivor from the plane. I hope they find all the plane survivors very soon.
Now to Nina and Ashley with some reports on Mount Horeb's pop culture.
Viral star Sophia Grace came to fame in 2011 after covering Nicki Minaj's Super Bass. That led her to The Ellen Show. Now Sophia has released a new single, Best Friends, which has been the most downloaded video on Mount Horeb since earlier this month. The 11-year-old looks like she took some cues from her idol, Nicki Minaj. There is plenty of preteen shopping, makeup, and modeling sessions as Sophia Grace jams with her posse of best friends.
And for the movie of the week, Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is the new Marvel movie that came out August of 2014. In this heart-touching, hysterical, action-packed movie, Chris Pratt plays Peter Quill, a space theft from Morgador. Peter Quill steals an orb recently wanted by the powerful Ronan, who craves that power from the orb. It's only after Peter tries to give the orb to a collector who knows that Ronan's new interest. On the way, Peter, Star-Lord, finds friends to give the orb to Novacord, where it will be safe and sound. A Kree rebel daughter of Ronan, Gamora, a humanoid plant named Groot, a raccoon who speaks English, and an extremely buff criminal, help Peter to stop Ronan from the powers of the orb. Overall, I would rate this movie 5 stars because of the constant laughter and smiles that came to my face when I watched Guardians of the Galaxy. Has been replayed in my family house many times.
Well, that's all for tonight. Tune in tomorrow for some more breaking news.